everybody, welcome back. I am your host Ali. Today we are going to learn how and what time we have to use our must and should. My dear friends, basically both must and should are modal verbs. Basically our must and should both are modal verbs. The term must is commonly used to express any unavoidable requirement. Our must just express what kind of, you can take any kind of unavoidable requirements, and also as well as or obligation. Okay, requirements and obligation that is unavoidable, that could be our must just express. Okay, and another one is on the other hand should also is used as a probability. Should also, it is a one type of probability. Obligation used as a advice or recommendation or condition, and also exceptional mood. Our must and should both are totally different from others. Our must is commonly express unavoidable requirement or obligation, and the same hand our should also express obligation, probability, advice, recommendation, and also as well as conditional, exceptional moods. This is the brief introduction about our must and should. Now let's learn what is the difference between what are the difference between must and should. Both must and should are modals, exactly modal auxiliary verbs. Our must and should both are modal auxiliary verbs, or simply you can take simply modals. They provide, our must and should or modals just provide information about the function of the main verb what following it. It's just functioning of the main verb. It's just functioning a main verb, that is our must and should. Both must and should are similar in meaning. But you can take a must and should both are very similar in meaning, but except that must is a much stronger. Our comparing to should, our must is a much stronger, and also word as our must word as compared to should. Our must is a very much stronger. In English language also, my dear friends, must and should, these two words, these two modal auxiliary verbs are very important, very necessary while you are communicating. So let's learn. Basically, you can take basically should is the past form. Basically you know already what is that. Should we are going to use in the past tense form of shall. What is that? Basically our should, it is the past tense form of shall. That's it. Let's just try to understand our should, some important examples. Okay, let's learn with the examples how our should works in the sentence. How can we using our should in the sentence? Means one example, you should What is that? Our example is you should chew your food properly. This is the example of understanding our should modal verbs or verb model. Okay, look here. This is the sentence. What we are trying to express, what we are trying to accept, we just commanding, we just ordering to the other person. What is that? You should chew your food properly. We are not just exactly just stronger than, we just concluding, we just expressing a common way. What is that? You should chew your food properly. It is the very common way to expressing our should in the sentence. Okay, another one is we should respect our parents. We should respect our parents. This is the second one example. Here also our should works in the sentence very cool way, very common way, in general way. And these two examples are enough to understand how our should expressing in the sentence. Okay, and another one is in all these statements you just learn there is a probability or recommendations of same kind. Probability and recommendations are some kinds, and also same kinds of recommendations and probabilities are there while we are going to using our should model. So these two examples are very best examples to understand how our should expressing, how our should working in the sentence. I hope you understand. Now let's learn our another one important model, that is must. Look, my dear friends, must is used to talk about as obligation. What is that? Obligation. Our must is used to talk about obligation, an obligation or a necessity. And necessity is also much important. It is used, our must, it is used when people are compelled to do something. For instance, what type of sentence our must include means our must and should be necessity and obligation. Obligation and necessity is important when we are using must model, and also it compelled by the people. For example of our must, what is that? Examples of must. Okay, for example, what is the example? You must obey the law. Obey the law. This is the one example to understand our must model. Look, while we are using obligation of law, obligation and necessity and obligation is very important while we are going to learn, while we are going to understand our must model. And also here compels abide our law, compels abide by the law. Our sentence include compels abide by the law. The sentence is the same, law is and we have to use obligation and necessity in the sentence. And another one example is and best example for you must hurry. You must hurry, and if you must hurry if you have to catch your school bus. Nowadays we are going to missing our school buses, due to COVID-19. So that's why look here, the best example for understanding must model. In these two statements, it is emphasized that these two statements are emphasized, that is, you certainly have to move quickly, and as you running late, you certainly have to quickly, as you are running very late. Our must is depend upon running late and quickness, faster or quickness. It shows the quickness. These two statements are very important to understand our must model. Synonyms of should. What kind of synonyms our should has exactly means? You can take feel, you can take leave, or you can take allow, you can take anything. Here these three synonyms are our should related synonyms. You can take allow, leave, feel, these three important synonyms about our should. I hope you understand. See you in the next class. Take care. Bye bye.